Morning children, welcome to Guru Institute. Today we are going to see a new lesson, that is human eye and colorful world. So this is the third topic in our light lesson. Okay, right? So first topic is reflection of light at curved surfaces. That is the first chapter, and the second topic is refraction of light at curved surfaces. That is the fourth lesson. And according to your textbook, this is the fifth lesson. This is the fifth lesson. That is what? Human eye and colorful world. In the name only there, human eye, that means our eye, and by using this eye, we can see this beautiful world, right? That's why he has given colorful world. How you can see what will happen whenever you have to see the object, how you can see the object in front of you, and what should be happen here. That will go in the reflection or refraction, what is done. How we can see this total beautiful world due to the sunlight. We have to see in this chapter. So if you look at this. Look at to the board, you have seen this one, this beautiful picture. It is show you a which one? It is our eye picture. Okay, right? So before going to discuss this one eye picture, we have to see about a small thing. Okay, right? Have you ever seen any frame or any book in front of you? Right? Daily we have to see like that, right? So now take any book. Okay? Let me take any book and okay. Don't take the book. We have to see the book later. So just take your hand first. Take your hand first and keep it in front of your face. Keep it in front of your face. Just observe your hand. Right hand or left hand. Just observe your hand and just first keep it on your nose. Just observe my view. Just keep it on your nose first and open your eyes. First close your eyes and keep it your palm on the nose and just move your, now open your, what is that, eyes. Now move the hand slowly. So then observe your hand. Wherever you see the clear image of total your hand, then stop there. Okay, like that. First take your hand and keep it on the nose and move slowly to the forward direction and observe wherever you see the total, the top to bottom clear picture of your which one hand, then you can stop there. So I am doing here, just see here, keep it like this, close your eyes and just open and just now move slowly. Okay, here I am seeing the total complete picture of my hand, here to here, right? If so, this is the position I am keeping like this here. So after this also I am able to see the clear picture, but above this one is I am seeing and below this one also I am seeing. And in this position I am seeing the clearly. Don't look sides, only look to the forward direction. And in front of this one I can't able to see the total picture. I see the blurred image. At this position I see the clear image. At this also finally also I am see the clear image. Now measure the distance between this position and your eye. So you will get some distance. The distance is how much means? That is 25 centimeter. That is how much? 25 centimeter. Suppose if you take a scale, so how much it is? So this is 30 centimeter. Okay, right? Once again we do the same activity by your hand, or otherwise you can take any textbook and keep it just in front of your nose and just slowly move this one. Then wherever you see the clear image, you can start there. So here I can see the clear image. Now measure the distance between your eye, this eye, and to the this book. Okay, right? So now take this one. So I am seeing up to which it will be getting you see here. So up to this you will get the clear image. So now it means what? Here only we are getting the clear image. So you will get the 25 centimeter, not getting the total scale. So it is 25 centimeter. So whatever you can take, either book or your hand, so compulsory it should be 25 centimeters only. So that 25 centimeters, at the distance of 25 centimeters only, you can see the clear image of any object which is in front of your eye. You have to measure from your eye to the object or your hand. So after the 25 also you will see the clear image, but you can see the upside of the object and downside of the object. Before that one, you can see the object, but that is a blurred image. Okay, that means that is not clear image. Clear? So this 25 centimeter distance is called distance of minimum distance of distinct vision. Distinct and clear vision. So what is the minimum distance of clear vision and distinct vision is for a human body, for a person who is a healthy person is having the minimum distance of clear vision is 25 centimeters only. This value is depending upon the age and depending upon the his health condition. Okay, so generally some for healthy body it is having 25 centimeters, right? For old person it should be varied. That we will discuss in the later classes. Right. So this is around 25 centimeters. Now again a small one. We have to do this one a small. So just see here, just in the same activity. So again take your hand. So keep it on your nose and open your eyes and just move it to this one. Wherever you get it, you are stopping. You are stop the hand. So after this, we have done the activity, right? Now measure the angle between the top one and bottom one with respect to your eye. I am seeing from this eye. So from top of this eye, okay, top of this eye, draw one line, this one, imaginary line, and from the bottom of this line, this eye, okay, eyelid. So you have to take, you have to draw another line. So in between this one, wherever you get a clear image, you can make the, you can find the angle. That angle is called, what is that? Clear distinct angle. This is the minimum distance for distinct vision. That is the minimum angle for distinct vision. So we can draw. I will draw some small picture to understand that one. Okay, right? Suppose this is our eye. These are eyelids. Let me. Okay, right? What I told you, draw a line. One line to the upside and this one. These lines are, what is the vision lines? Okay. Now you have to take your hand. Suppose like this here. So just suppose only this duster only there. Suppose for example here. If you see here, what you see? Or if you take a one of the, okay, it is little bit more, right? So simply you have to take a duster, keep it here. So where what happened here? Here you can't see the total. See here you can't see the total duster. So the top part is removed, the bottom part is removed. So if you keep here, again the same. So if you move like this gradually, what will happen? At this position, you can see the total top and bottom of the duster. And if you go like this, totally like that only. So suppose if I take one of the, what is the some 6 centimeter height object, for example, one object I will take like this. So same object if I keep here, same object, same to same object we have to see, we have to take. That means we are moving the object from one position to other position. Right? So I am keeping in front of eye and gradually move the forward. Then what is observed here? Here I have to say up to this part only. Here the part is increased, again increased. Here I can see the total part, that means total image. Okay, the total image of the object. But here along with the object, upside some space I can see and downside also I can see some space. Coming to here, upside more space, downside more space. More space is available. Then where you can see the clear image? At this position. At this position, I see the clear image, right? So for this position, if you find the angle, this angle should be 60 degrees. How much the angle should be? 60 degrees. This angle is known as minimum angle of distinct vision. If you find the distance between this eye and this object, get this clear vision. This distance is, how much this distance? This distance should be 25 centimeter. Distance should be 25 centimeter. At that point, the angle should be 60 degrees. Then 25 centimeter is called minimum distance for distinct vision or clear vision, and 60 degrees is called minimum distance for minimum angle for distinct vision or clear vision. Above the 60, if this angle is below the 60, then you can see the, what is the clear image or not clear image. If the angle is below 60, then we can see the only some part of the, what is that object. If this angle is above the 60, we can see the, along with the object, we can see the another parts. Okay. If this angle is equal to 60, then you can see the clear image. If this angle is below 60, we can see the total part of the object. If this angle is above the 60, we can see the only some part. Simply see here, if the below the 60 means, if you gradually increase the distance, then the angle is decreased. If you see the larger object, the angle between your lids is decreasing. If you see the nearer object, you can see the your angle of elevation should be increasing. So here, before this one, the angle is more than 60. After this one, angle is less than 60. So that's why if the angle is below 60, you can see the total image and above the objects also. But if you take the before this one, that means before this one means angle is more than 60, then you can see the only some part of the object. So this is about our vision. Now we have to see about the what is our eye, how it utilizes, what happens in this one. We have to see this one. So just simply see here. So this is our beautiful picture of our eye, our human eye. So it contains some part. Just see here. What does that mean? So this is the outer layer, this one, and this one is called cornea. So this is our eye lens. Okay. Then the middle part is called pupil. Right. So next, the above part, this eye lens is covered by one of the part that is called iris, and this eye lens is fixed in between some muscles. These muscles are called ciliary muscles. So these muscles are called ciliary muscles. So this is called iris. Iris is covered with a lens. The lens is covered by iris, and the lens is adjusted in the ciliary muscles. So then this total part is called retina. And this one from here to here, this is called optic nerve. Up to here, this is a retina. So this one is called optic nerve. So the starting part is eye lens and the ending part is retina. So this is about our eye structure and aqueous humor. That means eye drops. What is that? Tears? Cunning. So that eye drops is present in this one. That is present in between lens and cornea. Whenever any attack is there from the atmosphere, so in order to clean that one dust particle, whenever dust particle enters into our eye, to clean that one, immediately aqueous humor is released and it will clean the lens. Then we can see the clear image and our eye lens will be protected by aqueous humor. The duty of aqueous humor is to protect the eye lens. The middle part is called pupil. Okay, kanu papa ani cheptam, right? So next, this is called eye lens. So this is about our structure. But according to our feelings, our light, how we can see the image means whenever an object we can see, on that object light rays will fall. In the dark room we can't see any object, right? In the bright room, so whenever a light is focused on that one, then only we can see the object. How we can see? The rays are falling on the object, and after reflection, the image of the object is entered into our eye. Then in our eye, what will happen? Reflection will happen or refraction will happen? We have to see. Okay. So for that understanding purpose, we can use here only lens and retina. That's it. This is about our picture of the what is that? Our eye. So this lens, how it will look like the lens? See here. This is the shape. What is this shape? This is the shape. At the middle, we have the pupil, right? So then, what is this shape? This shape is like already you know the what is that? Convex lens. Two sides are open, right? Convex lens or biconvex lens. So our eye lens is not a concave lens; it is a convex lens. So convex lens always gives which image? A real image, right? So this is a convex lens, and here this is a retina. See here. So this part is retina. So this part is retina, right? I am drawing again the convex lens. So this part is retina. So whenever a light rays will come like this. So if you close this one like this. So this is our eyeball. That means human eye. So simply, whenever a light ray enters into this one, then what is the? Just remember about the convex lens ray diagram. Whenever a pair of rays enter into convex lens, what will happen? They will merge, and after refraction, they will meet at a point. They will meet at a focus point. Like that only here also. After this one, they will meet at some point. Just see here. So after this one, they will meet like this. So they are meted at this point. So this is only focus point. So here, this center point is called pole. Okay, same to same like convex lens. Why? Because in our eye, we are using convex lens. Okay, by God, we are getting the convex lens only. So right, what is the nature of convex lens? Whenever a light ray falls on this one, they are directly immediately a point. That point is called focus. They are convex lens is a converging lens. Here we are from the real image. That means inverted image. Which type of image is formed on the retina? Inverted image. So it is formed on this. They are mated at the retina. This retina only focus point. Retina only here focus point. Then what happened? This pupil is known as pole. So any light ray is traveling with from the pole, there is no deviation. So that's why it is moving straight only. These are after reflection, they are bended, they are mated here. So here the image is formed. Here the image is formed. Then what will happen? But this image is which nature? Inverted nature. This image is which nature? Inverted. Okay, from parallel rays it is a point image. But if you take some of the heighted object, some object has some height, then not only you will get which image? This is due to convex lens. We are getting the real image. That is inverted image. Any object, if you see that image is falling in your eye like a inverted, but we can see the image as a straight one only, right? How it is possible? Then what will happen is, after the what is structure is there? This retina is connected to optic nerve. This total structure. This retina is connected to which one? Optic nerve. So this retina is connected to optic nerve. So then this retina, in this retina, lakhs of millions of receptors are there. Receptor is nothing but they will accept, they will receive the what is the color and intensity of the object. So in the retina, almost 125 millions of receptors are there. So they are called cones and rods. They are called cones and rods. So these receptors is identify the color and intensity of the object. So simply, which can identify colors mean? This is what cones. What is the first letter? C. Just remember like that. C and C only color. Right? So cones are identify the color, and coming to another one, rods are identify the intensity. Don't be confused. Simply remember CC. So in the retina, whenever the image is formed, the image is always formed on the retina. But it is a convex lens, we are getting inverted image. But how we can see the real image? That means erected image, as a straight image like which will be happening in front of us. That means due to the optic nerve. Why? Because this retina contains what is the cones and rods. Lakhs of cones and rods are there among 125 millions, almost around. So in this one, cones identify the color of the object or color of the image. Then rods identify the intensity of the image. Then this will identify, and but formed image is inverted, and this total information is given to the optic nerve. So from this one, it is given to optic nerve. This optic nerve is directly. So here eye is there. So here it is formed. This is the retina. Suppose inside. This is my eye. Here retina is there. So this retina is connected to optic nerve, right? So the information which is done by cones and rods and the inverted image is all total given to optic nerve. This optic nerve is connected to our brain. Then our brain only automatically the inverted image is set by the straight by our brain. Automatically within a fraction of seconds, our brain set this information sent by optic nerve. The inverted image should not be changed directed in the eye. In the eye it is only inverted. After this it is connected to brain. Brain only itself that will straight up the image, and you feel the object whatever is in front of you, that is same to same. Otherwise you can see this wall as a reverse manner. Okay. So this is the structure and functioning of our eye. Simply 1 minute I will give you. So this is the structure. Here cornea layer is there. Outer layer it protects the eye lens. In the eye lens middle pupil is there. Pupil here acts as a pole, and eye lens in the shape of the convex lens. Convex lens is always real image forms. Whenever the rays are formed here, that will be merged at one point. The merging point here is, their merging point is called focus. Here the merging point is retina. If you see the image means always it should merge. That means the refracted rays are meets on the retina only. Okay. So this is the happening. Then the image is formed, that is inverted, that is given to the retina, and cones and rods are identified the nature of the image, intensity of the image, and color of the image that is given to optic nerve. Optic nerve connected to the brain. Then it will be simply straight line, right? Then what is the remaining one? See here. What is the remaining one? Iris. Iris also protected the lens. So aqueous humor. So just simply see here. What is the aqueous humor means? Aqueous humor means conning eye drops, tear drops. Okay. So simply whenever any dust particle is harmful things enter into our eye, immediately we will get tears, right? So the tear, the liquid is called aqueous humor. It is immediately released. That is present in between lens and cornea. So it will clean up our lens, and you can see the clear image, and our eye is protected, right? That eyeball is protected. So then this lens is fixed in our eye with the help of these muscles. See these muscles? So this is the iris. This is the muscle. These muscles are called ciliary muscles. Ciliary muscles. We can talk about this one. So this is the retina part. This is the optic nerve, right? Now, so in the previous activity, what we can see? We can keep like this. Here also I can see the image, but blurry image. Here I can see the after 25. In the 25 I see the clear image. After 25 also I see the clear image. Then whenever you can see this beautiful wall, you can see the near objects as well as the far objects, right? So, but our eye lens is same. If you want to see the far object, you require the more focal length, right? If you want to see the near object, you require the less focal length. But by the God grace, we are getting only one lens, right? But how can it is able to see the far image and the near image? So that is done by the ciliary muscle. So let's see here how can it should be done means. So this is the what is that? Our eyelid. This is the pole. So this is the retina. So these are meted here, right? Right. This is the focus part. Then this is called what? PF distance is called what? Focal length. So the distance between P and F is here. The distance between P and F is here. How much is 2.5 centimeter only. 25 centimeter is minimum distance. Here the distance between the lens and retina is a very small one. How much it is? Only 2.5. 2.5 means how much? So just this is 2.5. Just little bit this one. Only this much out there. This is only just 2.5 centimeter. Right? Width. So that much gap is there in between this one, 2.5. So the focal length of our eye is how much? 2.5. Then, so this eye is, this lens, eye lens is fixed in our eye with the help of ciliary muscles. Like this. Ciliary muscles. Then what will happen means, if you want to see the forward object, it will be in the same position. That means it maintains the maximum focal length. So then, if you want to see a near object, then it will get compressed. It will occupy your eye like this. Then what happened? So our eye lens is decreased like this. Our eye lens is decreased like this. The pole is not changed, right? Our eye lens is decreased like this. Then the lens is decreased. Automatically the focal length also decreased. So from here to the focal length is decreased to little bit decreasing. So it is coming up to here. So now it is the focal length point. So that is 2.27 centimeter. How much it is decreasing? 2.5 to the actual is 2.5. From here to it is decreasing to 2.27. So whenever you are seeing the far distance, ciliary muscles are like this positions only. They would change. So it allows the maximum distance. What is the maximum distance? 2.5. The focal length is 2.5. You can see the clear image of the forward object. But whenever you can see the nearer object, so that will be over compressed like this. For example, see here. Suppose this is our eye lens. So my fingers are ciliary muscles. They are like this, holding like this. Let me my fingers are ciliary muscles, holding like this. For far distance, they should be like this. So then this is the eye lens. This is the eye lens. Then my body is about here. It is a retina. So it is same to same like that. Okay, this is 2.5 total. You can see the far. Whenever if you want to see the nearer objects, then the ciliary muscles like this, they are whatever they are occupied like this. So from here to they are moving like this. Slowly they are moving like this. So then they are decreasing the which one? Our eye length. The eye length is decreased. Automatically the focal length also decreases. Then you can see the nearer object. So how much it should be in another position? The focal length is 2.27 centimeters only. That means the retina comes here to 2.27 centimeters. So that's why 2.27 is minimum focal length and 2.5 centimeter is the maximum focal length. So, like this adjustment will be done by the great muscles, ciliary muscles. So that's why only this is happening. You can see the beautiful world by the far objects and nearer object. F minimum is 2.27 cm, F maximum is 2.5 cm. So like this adjustment is called accommodation. Like this adjustment will be called as a accommodation. Accommodation of ciliary muscles. Accommodation means adjusting of focal length. The ciliary muscles done adjusting of focal length by itself to see the far objects as well as nearer object. So nearer we can see 2.27 up to and far 2.5. This nature of adjusting focal length, this nature of adjusting focal length is called accommodation of ciliary muscle or accommodation of length. This is done by the ciliary muscle. This is the great role played by the ciliary muscles. Okay, right. Now, if I have one doubt, if ciliary muscles are not working properly, then what will happen? If they are like that only in the releasing position, then what will happen? You can see the only far objects. If they are compressed and they won't work, then you can see the only nearer objects. But they are structured, they are released and compressed. Due to that one, you can see the far and nearer. But in the old people, due to their health condition, these ciliary muscles they are getting weak and they are not adjusted properly. So that's why they won't be able to see the far images and as well as nearer images. They will see the blur images, right? And in some person, that is about the ciliary images. Okay. In nowadays, even if children are a middle-aged people or the old-aged people, it is not depending upon the age. They will have not see the clear image of the far distances or nearer distance. Then what will happen? Some people they can't see the far images clearly, but they can see the objects which are very near to them. And some people they see the reverse one. What is that one? They see the nearer only. Okay, right. They see the far objects only clear, but near objects they can't see. But in old people, they can see the far, they can't see the far and nearer. Some people see nearer but not far. Some people see the far but not nearer. Some people won't see the nearer and far. So then their eye will be have some defect. So this is called eye defects. So we have three types of eye defects are there. So first type of defect is called myopia. Myopia. Second type of defect is called hypermetropia. Hypermetropia. And the third one is called presbyopia. Third one is called presbyopia. So the third one is called presbyopia. So this is about the eye defects. So simply three types of defects are there: myopia, hypermetropia, presbyopia. Myopia means the people who can see near objects only but can't see the far objects. They will be able to see the near objects only which are in front of them, but they can't see the far images. This is called myopia defects. Then opposite to that one, exact opposite. The people hypermetropia, the people who can see the far objects but they can't see the near object. Presbyopia, if you mixing these two defects, then that is called presbyopia. That means they won't see far objects and they won't see near objects clearly. In any defect they can see they can't see the clearly, but they can see as a blurred image. So this is called defects. So this should be happening in the maximum old people. This should be happening in the remaining one, children and as well as the middle-aged one. Nowadays, due to the lack of vitamins and proteins, so due to the lack of awareness, and we are using the mostly smartphones and systems and TVs, maximum children are addicted to TV screen. So they are get defected to the sight, their eyesight. So that's why in the childhood only they will get the eyesight. Okay, right? So that is about this defect. Then how can you correct this one? So whenever your children or any person they won't see the object, then we are immediately going to the eye doctor and have to check it one, and you have to write some point, some defect, and you have to give some lenses for you, right? So as in that one, how many lenses are we have? Two types of lenses are there: convex lens and concave lens. Depending upon your type of defect, he will suggest a lens either convex or concave. What it should be, we have to learn more in the next step. So then you can use the what is the glasses, you can see the clear image. Then what will happen, you can see this one. So actually, how can you see the image? Whenever the object rays after refraction is falling on retina, then only you can see the image. So we can't change the position of retina, right? So why they are not seeing the image mean either the refracted rays of that person if meet on retina. If they are meet on retina, then he can see the clear image. If they meet before the retina, he can't see the image clearly. If the refracted rays meet after the retina, also he can't see the clear image. He can see the only blurred image. This is the defect. Okay. Why? Because if that is meet on retina, you can see clear, no defect. If they are meet before that one, then that is a, what is that? Okay, which type of one means that is a myopia defect. If they are meet after retina, then that type of defect is a hypermetropia defect. Clear? So then what we have to do means, you can't change the retina position, but we can change the meeting point of the refracted rays from here to here, or from here to here, which will be formed in front of the retina. Then we can move that point to here, and which will be formed after retina. We can move from point here to here. So then you can correct the defect. How can you change the? You can't change the lens, you can't change the retina. So instead of that one, we can use in front of our eye another lens, either concave or convex. Then we can correct that defect. Right? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe our channel and share to your friend. If you have any doubts, please post on the comment box. In the next video, we have to see the defects.